Now meet at the battle arena Toshinden. Many years have passed since this tournament, known only to those in the underworld, was last held.
Now meet at the battle arena Toshinden.
Personal glory. Others are to fight for
What does it all mean, Basil?
all will do their best to be victorious in this tournament, which will
Victorious in this tournament. Ah. I remember getting this game for free. I think it came with the system actually when we first got that system. Back in the days, I remember this was the shit. Sort of. Wow. It was definitely one of the first fighting games that included weapons in it, or were based off weapons. So I'm going to get your versus computer, versus human, play one game. So I'm going to go through the regular player one game. As you can see, this game is obviously dated. You got a handful of characters to choose from. You got this guy named Duke. Go with Ellis. Oh shit! I always thought that guy looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Does he look like him? He's like, yeah, look at my massive bat. I'm going to beat up the little girl with green hair. The clone baby. So in terms of fighting, you got your 4 face buttons, do different attacks. It was a 3D fighter as well for its time. It was pretty big. However, I don't think the game did that well in terms of like reviews and stuff like that. I remember there were more in the series besides this version, but I heard that they didn't do that well. I never played them. Considering that the reviews said that there were nothing special, I doubt I was missing anything much. Indeed. Now something is missing. We're gonna find what that is. Okay, hit select key in order to move down. Why do I have to press the select key in order to move down the options? Can I just use the regular D-pad? Why they gotta make things so goddamn complicated? So anyways, now we're using the D-pad. Something's wrong here actually. Yeah. Where's the music? Some music. Anyways, character-wise, the game was decent. I mean, it had, standard anime fare of characters. The characters were very imaginative, I guess. Actually, they weren't very imaginative. I mean, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger in here, man. What does that mean? You hear him? He's like, whoa! And in terms of 3D, you could actually side-scroll, jump to the side, strafe, by pressing either R1, L1, or double tapping the up or down on the D-pad. Now, it did get quite repetitive after a while, but then again, the same could be said about any game. Characters do have special moves, as you can see there. The camera angles did kind of throw you off at some points, but for the most part, the game did feel like a 2D fighter in the first place. Just on a 3D plane. Alright, that twirl he did was just fruity. What's cool about this game is that if you play 2 of the same characters, the second character, their alternate costume would look a bit drastic in terms of difference. I mean, just look at her here. Much different. Now, I remember this being one of the very first video game girls that I had a crush on, and now that I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that's pathetic. I mean, for the most part, her body was made of polygons and just looked awkward. I don't even know how the hell I just pulled that off. I just did. So, as you can see, I'm not doing too well against the computer. But pulling out special moves in this game were pretty simple. You got your down, back, down, forward buttons. It's pretty standard fare for a fighting game. The way the characters got knocked out was pretty dramatic. I mean, you get knocked down and you twirl around like Rungo just did. Now, it really is a shame that you guys can't hear the music for whatever reason. I don't know if the disc is scratched for some reason. It could be that it's an older game and it's been through wear and tear. However, it could also be that I ripped the music off the game on many occasions on my PC and on the PS3. Since it is a compact disc, you're able to do that for older games. So that could be the reason why I can't hear any music anymore. So I don't know how to fix that. If anything, you guys are probably hearing the music right now because I'm playing it as the background themes. But the music in this game was absolutely awesome. I think to this day it still has some of the best music in a fighting game I've ever played. To the point where I even have these songs on my iPod, you know, remixed and everything. They're awesome. So I just got my ass kicked with Sophia. I always used to love that laugh she used to do. But this game, I believe, came out before Soul Edge was out. So this was definitely like the first fighting game with weapons in it. In terms of 3D, I mean, I know there was Samurai Showdown or Samurai, whatever you call it. But this was definitely one of the first for its time. And it wasn't bad at all. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't anything special, but at the time I found it really enjoyable. And that's the case I noticed for most of the PlayStation 1 catalog, or any game back then. I used to enjoy them just because they were there, you know, they're available to me. I never really cared if the game really sucked or not, or if it looked that good. I usually just play it and, you know, suck it up. My god, look at her chest. It's just a big polygon with like shades of black to show cleavage. It doesn't even look right anymore. It's not even real. Oh man. For its time, it was hot. And we're gonna fight Mr. Miyagi. He's like, Daniel-san, my name is Fo in this game. What kind of name is Fo? It sounds so stupid. But this dude, this old crazy ass dude was weird. Look at those claws he has on his arms. They're like massive. They're bigger than Vega or Wolverine or whatever you like that. I mean, who would win in a fight? Vega, Wolverine, or Foe? Well, I'll have to go with the old guy on this one. This is definitely Foe's battle. But as you can see, he's not doing too well against me right here. Gameplay's so slow and sluggish now, it's ridiculous. Not having the music to go with it's kind of a shame. Like I said, the music in this game was fantastic. Oh, got him! Knocked you out, Mr. Miyagi-san. No problem! Why does he sound like Carlos from Resident Evil 3? But you know what? It's fine. It's kind of one of those old nostalgic games that you just go back to and play and look back on and see how horrible they are. Even though it's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, or word. I mean, it's alright. It's not bad. Lols. You know, I kind of hope this is released on the PSN eventually. I also recall that they were actually making, the developers, a new game, kind of like a spiritual successor to this game, but it was on the Nintendo Wii and it never made it outside Japan. And from what I heard, I didn't hear many things about it. So if any of you played it before, please let me know how it was. It's kind of a shame it never made it outside of the shores, or they didn't use the same characters for that matter. You know, it's really funny actually, now that I look back on it, I remember my sister and I playing this game non-stop. We would have a hell of a fun time just playing it. And it wasn't necessarily for the fighting itself. I mean, we used to play Mortal Kombat and Primal Rage back then. But the one thing I do remember us doing is making actual stories with these characters, kind of like soap operas. Basically, like this girl was fighting for her boyfriend, or these two girls were going at it because they you know, one of them was cheating on the other with a guy or something like that. We were just obviously pretty damn bored and young at the time. We just had fun playing stupid jokes with this game. And one of the main funny things that I actually enjoyed about this game, and we couldn't stop getting enough of, was how corny the game was whenever a character would win. That's it? Really? That's all he does? He just raises his sword up above? That was very anticlimactic, Duke. Now I'm gonna see if I could show you exactly what me and my sister had such a great time doing in this game. Wow, Takara, 1995. Old game. But this is where the game really was hilarious. We just couldn't get enough of this. So I'm gonna both use Ellis. Player 2 Ellis was so much hotter looking than Player 1 Ellis. She had blue hair, pink lipstick, a red outfit. Awesome, awesome character. Oh, laughable. Laughable. Epic fail! So we would just have a good time, having our characters run to the edge of the screen, while the other character, you know, if they would do their win pose. It's funny because even after you do your win pose, while you're doing it, you can still fall off the arena if you're still close to the edge and your character is doing something really dramatic. It was actually really funny and we couldn't get enough of it at the time. Even to this day, we'll still probably play it and laugh. But yeah, as you can see, even though that's her move, it gives her a ring out if she's not careful enough, so it's pretty darn funny. Whatever the hell "loam" is supposed to mean, I have no clue. But your guess is just as good as mine. But for the most part, the game was fun for its time, and till this day, I still find it fun to a certain extent. Just, you know, nostalgic factor. It's fun going back to this type of game after you've played games like Soul Calibur 4, Tekken 6, or Super Street Fighter 4. You know, it's funny. You know, Dead or Alive. How far fighting games have really come since these days. But you know what? I guess that's great and everything. I'm glad for fighting games. I still love them, and if I do find the sequels to this game, I would definitely pick them up. And I just killed myself there. So that was this time's retrospective. Battle Arena Toshinden. However, what's gonna be the next episode? That's a good question. What should be the next episode? Ooh, I have an idea. How about we go back in time to the very first game starring Lara Croft? Oh, that is right. We're going back to the original. The original
Is
Tomb.
it possible to have feelings for a video game character? Is it possible to have dreams about a video game character? Yeah. The way you move those hips, gorgeous lips, the way you block those flips, the way you walk me, show me slide my lips all over your hips. From the thickness, saw you, my mind in the night, every time you step out on the street, you put me in the